Hey, it's Nara with What's Cooking FIT. Today I'm joined by Professor Kokinos to talk about sustainability at our school. So how did you get involved in sustainability?
That's a good question. I always, look to save money for one thing. And I think, being sustainable just at home and, making sure that we're, thinking about our resources all the time, whether it's, paper towels or turning the heat up and down, I try to save money and also, in turn save the earth.
It's very cool. So what is this ban the bottle, take back the tap at FIT that I've been hearing about?
Well, like everybody, I drank bottled water and my kids drank bottled water. And I knew that, we were, lugging bottles and it was really expensive. And, I said to myself, let me do a little bit of research. And I started to find out that bottled water wasn't regulated. It wasn't all it was hyped up to be. And, as advertising, marketing, communication students, it's a very interesting thing to look at the history of bottled water, because a lot of it has to do with the packaging and the marketing and the fact that a lot of waters are tap water that come in bottles. A lot of times, it is not really as good as you think it is. So I, started to think about filtering. And when I went to a few really good restaurants, I noticed that the water was very good. I have a very sensitive palate from being a chef, and I always smell water just like I would smell wine or something like that, or food. And I was sensitive to chlorine. So I noticed that at a couple of really nice restaurants, the water was very, very clean and easy to drink. And I asked, how they did that, and it was even the tap water. A lot of times restaurants will try to get you to buy the bottled water, of course, but the tap water can be very good at the good restaurants because they're using an in-house filter. So I found out about different filtration systems for the home, and I installed one that I'm very happy with, and found that the cost was, minimal compared to buying bottled water. And I think my water is actually better.
Can you explain to me a little bit about the LK contest?
Yeah, well, what happened was there was a grant from the Sustainability Council, the President's Council on Sustainability here at FIT, offered a $5,000 grant proposal for doing something to green the campus. And I thought that this would be a good thing to do, because I saw a lot of wasted plastic bottles all the time. And I looked into a couple of systems and saw that we could afford one or two with a $5,000 grant. So I wrote up the grant proposal and I received the grant from the council for this LK bottle filler. And the company was very willing to work with us. In fact, they donated an extra filter for us, an extra unit for us, and they're still working with us. So that's why we chose them, and I think we're pretty happy with them. They're around in a lot of other institutions, and they're a good company.
So what are some tips that you can give to FIT students to be sustainable in their everyday life or on campus?
Probably one of the best ones is to use the bottle fillers. Try not to use bottled water, and I could talk a lot more about that. The idea that you're getting plastic actually when you use bottled water. If that bottled water's been sitting around for a while, it picks up plastic from the bottle. If it's been in the sun, the plastic deteriorates even more. You don't know what's really in there. So our filters, actually New York City water is excellent water. It's some of the best water probably in the world. And some of the problems are that it is chlorinated to remove microorganisms that could make you sick. And it does pass through some old pipes, especially in the city. So it can pick up some undesirable things like lead. The filters that we have filter out over 99% of both chlorine and lead. So you are really getting a very, clean water from those filters, and it's refrigerated too. So that is really good. Try to avoid the plastic. Try to get yourself a metal bottle, that you don't reuse all the time. Some people say, well, I'll just use the same Poland Spring or whatever plastic bottle. That is probably not a good idea because the longer you use it, the more it might leach plastic. Plus, if you're not washing it really good, you could have microorganisms in there, whatever. So more things too. Use the recycling bins, I think would be a good thing to do. There's lots of recycling bins. Recycle properly. So, FIT has the paper, the bottles and cans, and the general trash. Make sure you put the garbage in the right one because they can recycle properly, saves energy, and, definitely saves the planet, saves us.
Right. Thank you very much for your time, Professor. I've learned a lot from you today, and I'm sure everyone who's watching this has learned a lot as well.